Welcome back, guys. We just went through this struggle for the last 30 minutes. I love technical issues. I feel like we're back in when we first started all over again. Well, I hope you all enjoyed our 12 Days of Christmas episodes that we did. I really enjoyed doing those, and I think that they'll become a yearly thing, you know what I'm saying? But this week, since we didn't do an episode last week, we're gonna hopefully cram it all into one episode, and you guys don't want to miss it because we do have some talking points to go off of here, and it'll just be fun. We'll recap soccer as usual. We do have 2 weeks for some leagues. Some leagues it's just one, others it's 2, maybe even 3. And yeah, we've just got a lot to go through. And of course, we'll end with our games of the week. And I'm unsure what our second episode will be for this week, if we'll even do one, because it is New Year's later on in the week. So we'll have to see if we do an extra one or not. But we don't have racing, and that if you don't know, last week, 2 weeks ago, we did our F1 season recap. So go watch that if you want your dose of racing. Well, we're starting in soccer because stupid statistics, we're not going to make you watch through a whole episode. So we're starting off in soccer. So we're starting in Serie A, where there has been some controversy in the news if you're a USMNT fan because of Christian Pulisic, but we'll get to that in a little bit. To start off, we have Lazio tying 10-men Cremonese, 0-0, no scores, no goals, same thing. Juventus beat Roma 2-1, Atalanta beat 10-men Genoa 1-0, Lazio then tie Udinese 1-1, Juventus beat Pisa 2-0, Napoli beats Cremonese 2-0, Inter Milan beat Atalanta 1-0, and then AC Milan beat Verona 3-0, and we got a Christian Pulisic goal, of course. So, while we're on the subject of Christian Pulisic, there has been some rumors spreading that he's dating Sydney Sweeney. I just want to know where that came from, because that's so not true. He's dating Alexa Melton or whatever, the pro golfer chick.
I just feel like the news gets bored and they're like, let me just spread some stuff. Someone in the comments was like, does he know he's dating her? I was like, literally. Like, imagine waking up and seeing that and being like, yo, what?
Yeah, no, literally. And then on top of that, today, actually, he posted something on social media that was like, stop spreading these rumors, like, they're not true. And I went through so many posts on Twitter where I literally just copied a link and was like, this is his girlfriend, this is his girlfriend, this is his girlfriend, like, as a community note. So, whatever, great. Thanks guys for spreading that. But atop of Serie A is still Inter Milan with 36, AC Milan in second with 35, then Napoli with 34, Juventus jumps up to 4th with 32 points, Roma is in 5th with 30, and Como is in 6th with 27 points. Now, a disclaimer about Juventus: they have played 17 games, but the rest of the top 6 are at 16 games, and this is because European competitions and, their domestic competitions that aren't the regular one, like in Germany, it's the DFB Pokal. Sorry, I'm getting my letters switched around. Where it's like completely different from the Bundesliga, so that's part of the reason there. But then to the Premier League, where we got a lot going on because they like to play a lot. But we have Chelsea tying Newcastle 2-2, Man City beating West Ham 3-0, Liverpool beating 10-men Spurs 2-1. We have Arsenal beating Everton 1-0, Aston Villa beating Man United 2-1. Man United then beating Newcastle 1-0 in the next week. And then Man City beating Forest 2-1. Tottenham beats Crystal Palace 1-0. And Villa beat Chelsea 2-1. Liverpool beat Wolves 2-1. Chelsea beat Everton 2-0. And then we have Arsenal beating Brighton 2-1. I do want to note, USMNT fans, for Crystal Palace defender Chris Richards, he was subbed off last week with a knee injury. I'm pretty sure it was last week, but it looks to be minor, so that's great because he was stretchered off, and I was like, please, this can't be an ACL tear. I can't do this again. But it's not. As far as I know, it's not, so we'll take that as it is. But atop of the Premier League still sits Arsenal with 42, followed by Man City with 40, Aston Villa with 39, Liverpool with 32, and Chelsea with 29. Now, Liverpool do jump up into the standings to get into the top 4, and Chelsea fall down to 5th. And I don't know who the other team was up there 2 weeks ago, and we're gonna leave it that way. But La Liga, we only have 1 week to recap here, seeing as they take their break. They have an extended break compared to the other leagues. Atleti beat Girona 3-0. Real Madrid beat 10-men Sevilla 2-0. Barcelona beat 10-men Villarreal 2-0 as well. So, Barcelona are still atop of La Liga with 46 points, then Real Madrid with 42. Atletico jump up into 3rd, so they have 37 points now. Villarreal is now in 4th with 35, Espanyol in 5th with 33, and Real Betis in 6th with the last European spot on 28 points. Now, Villarreal has played 16 games, and the rest of the top 6 are either at 17 games played or 18 games played. Again, due to European competitions, and I know that their game this past week was postponed. I don't know why it was postponed. We'll get to that, maybe. I'll find out, maybe. I don't know, it didn't make my headline news, so I don't know much about that. I just know that they are a game or 2 behind, so they could potentially be ahead of Atletico still. But to the Bundesliga, our last soccer thing, thankfully, we only have 1 game to recap because they take an earlier break. So we have Dortmund beating Gladbach 2-0. We have Leipzig losing to Leverkusen 3-1. And then we have Bayern beating Heidenheim 4-0. So we had goals from Joseph Stanisic, Michael Olise, Luis Diaz, and Harry Kane in the 15th, 32nd, 86th, and 90 plus 2 minutes. So we had 6 shots on target, 10 shots total, 80% of possession, and 6 corners. And we got some good news before we went on break, where Jamal Musiala is finally back from his horrific Club World Cup injury. And it's just so great to be back. But yes, Jamal Musiala back in training. I know you're happy about that. I'm happy about that. And it was just so nice and refreshing to see the Bayern admin for social media this week reposting the stuff of Jamal, Alphonso Davies, and Joshua Kimmich re-signing until later seasons. Yes, I know they did one with Neuer as well, but he's old. He shouldn't be playing. It's besides the point. Anyways, but the Bundesliga standings. So, to no one's surprise, Bayern's still atop with 41 points. Dortmund in 2nd with 32. Leverkusen in 3rd with 29. Leipzig fall down from 2nd to 4th, tied with 29 points, but the goal differential with Leverkusen is worse than Leverkusen's, so that's why they have the 4th place spot. And then 5th place, we have Hoffenheim with 28 points, 27 points. And then in 6th place, the last European spot in the Bundesliga belongs to Stuttgart with 26. So yeah, now that we're done with soccer, we can go to the NFL.
Guys, we have a lot for the NFL, so hang tight. First things first, we have our NFL scores, and I'm doing week 16 and week 17 as a recap in total, so pray for me. So the Seahawks beat the Rams 38-37. Preference week 16 Hopefully you kind of understood that, but you never know. Eagles beat the Commanders 29-18. The Bears beat the Packers 22-16. The Chargers beat the Cowboys 34-17. The Vikings beat the Giants 16-13. The Bengals beat the Dolphins 45-21. The Panthers beat the Buccaneers 23-20. The Saints beat the Jets 29-6. The Bills beat the Browns 23-20. The Titans beat the Chiefs 26-9. The Jaguars beat the Broncos 34-20. The Falcons beat the Cardinals 26-19. The Texans beat the Raiders 23-21. The Steelers beat the Lions 29-24. The Patriots beat the Ravens 28-24. And the 49ers beat the Colts 48-27. Now to week 17. So, the Cowboys beat the Commanders 30-23. The Vikings beat the Lions 23-10. The Broncos beat the Chiefs 20-13. The Texans beat the Chargers 20-16. The Ravens beat the Packers 41-24. The Dolphins beat the Buccaneers 20-17. The Patriots beat the Jets 42-10. The Browns beat the Steelers 13-6. The Jaguars beat the Colts 23-17. The Saints beat the Titans 34-26. The Seahawks beat the Panthers 27-10. The Bengals beat the Cardinals 37-14. The Giants beat the Raiders 34-10, and the Eagles beat the Bills 13-12. And the Bears versus the 49ers are currently playing, and we're in the second quarter, and it's 21-21. How much time is left in the second quarter?
5:28.
And then tomorrow night, the Rams are playing the Falcons at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, I'll probably add in who wins against the Bears versus the 49ers. If I don't, you can Google it, because I probably forgot. So, here are the game-altering plays.
To make this easier, you take the first week, and I'll take the second week.
Yeah, that's nice. So last week, the Seahawks failed 2-point conversion, but after further review ruled a backwards pass, so it becomes a fumble, and the Seahawks recovered the ball in the end zone, meaning that they converted the 2-point attempt to tie the game 30-30, ultimately leading to a crucial overtime victory against the Rams.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm telling you, this play was crazy because we all thought that they were blowing it completely dead because it looked like a forwards pass. But then on replay, you can see, because the wide receiver is way behind the line of scrimmage and from where Sam Darnold, the Seahawks quarterback, is throwing it from, you can see it goes backwards. So it becomes a fumble in this instance, and then it then somehow the ball ends up in a forwards motion going towards the end zone. It goes straight through one of the Rams' defensive people's hands, and it ends up just like it was. Who was it? It might have been Zach Charbonnet, who just randomly picked it up in the end zone and handed it to a ref. And that's how they ended up getting the 2-point conversion. Like, it was crazy.
I was gonna say, I feel like I watched this, and I don't know where I watched it. Last week was a blur for me.
Yeah.
A lot happened. But moving on. So then we have the Packers backup quarterback Malik Willis, after Jordan Love goes down with a concussion, went 9 for 11 passes, 121 yards, and a touchdown plus 44 rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Malik Willis, my man. He does so good, and then they go around and just pull him out of the game, or I'm just like,
I know he holds a special place in your heart.
He does. Malik, if you ever see this, I love you. The only downside is you play for a team I don't really like, but we're gonna let that pass.
For now.
Yes. But moving on, because we have more to talk about Malik later on. So the Panthers safety Lathan Ransom picking off Baker Mayfield with 49 seconds left in the game to help seal the win for the Panthers. The Panthers had a good week last week.
Yeah, it kept them in play for the division title, and but then this week, both teams didn't really do great. Either the Panthers or the Bucks.
Yeah. But around 2 minutes left in the Lions-Steelers game, kicker Chris Boswell doinks the field goal for the goal-ahead score, turns the ball over to the Lions. A few plays later, it's 4th and 2, and the Steelers get flagged for a pass interference. Fast forward a few plays. It's 1st and goal from the Steelers, one passing touchdown to Amon-Ra, called back for pass interference on Lions rookie tight end Isaac Tesla becomes the 1st and goal from the Steelers 16. The Lions run one play to get closer. They end up scoring, however, good lord, a fence pass interference is called yet again, but Amon-Ra, resulting in the game being over with the Lions losing.
Yeah, again, another crazy game last week. Like, I'm watching this and I cannot believe my eyes. Because, like, back-to-back games where Jared Goff didn't really play great. But, like, here, it's 1st and goal from the Steelers 1. We get a passing touchdown to Amon-Ra,
Yeah.
right? But then it gets called back because of an illegal pick on the rookie tight end. So then it backs us up 15 yards because, of course, they're going to take the penalty. And now we're on the Steelers 16. We run one play. We get, like, halfway closer. We get another play. It goes to Amon-Ra, but then he laterals it to Jared Goff, who goes into the end zone for a touchdown. And they pull the flags on there, and then they call the offensive pass interference on Amon-Ra. And it's like, what did we just watch? How did this happen?
Not the correct game.
But yeah, so
I don't know what they were playing.
that pretty much sunk the Lions' playoff hope.
I bet.
But then what really sunk them was this week, where I don't even think that we're talking about their game this week, because they lost to the Vikings. The Vikings. And eliminated themselves. Yeah.
They game.
Love that for myself. But this week, we have Ravens running back Derrick Henry. Monster game. The Packers defense could not stop him. And yes, granted, the defense was injured, but they pretty much just ran the ball every play that I watched, it felt like. So Derrick Henry actually ran for 36 carries, 216 yards, and 4 touchdowns, which resulted in like 45 fantasy points, and he's on my team. So I was like, oh my gosh, he scored. Oh my gosh, he scored again. And it just kept going, and I was like,
I'm scared to even
but yeah, it was crazy. And then he was battling Packers backup QB, Malik Willis. We just talked about Malik Willis. Well, he went 18 for 21, 288 yards, 1 throwing touchdown, 9 carries for 60 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. So he had 3 touchdowns total. And, I mean, he played out of his mind. I'm not gonna lie. The only downside is that there were 2 snaps, I think, that it was like he was off on the snap count, or I don't know, there was just some miscommunication there. But then he also played through injury, so like, if you don't want him on your team, what are you doing? He's a great guy. I love Malik. I watched him play at Liberty. Holds a special place in both of our hearts, so.
Good year. That was a good year.
Yeah, but
The
then
good old days.
the good old days, being able to watch Malik lead us to a winning season. Anyways, then we have the Browns defense preventing the Steelers from scoring with 20-some seconds left in the game. This now makes next week a playoff clinching game between the Steelers and the Ravens. So we're set for a good one. And Myles Garrett did not break the single season sack record. So whoever the Browns play next week, get ready for it, because he's going to try and get it. And then we have Jags kicker Cam Little making 2 field goals in the 4th quarter to help lift the Jags in their win over the Colts. So what actually ended up happening, the very last drive of the game, it was the Colts' ball. They threw a short little bubble screen to Michael Pittman Jr., who ran it for like 10 to 20 yards. And then the Jags defense guy laid on top of him, preventing him from getting up and then being able to do a quick snap. There's a term for it, but I'm just like, I can't spike it. To quick spike the ball to stop the clock. So the Jags defensive player stopping that from happening resulted in a delay of game from the Jags defense. So that gave the Colts another try at the end zone, and it also put 4 seconds back onto the clock rather than just 1. So not that really did anything, because this resulted in the Jags picking off Phillip Rivers in the end zone on the Hail Mary attempt. So, and then we have Bills quarterback. I know you're not happy to see this on the list, but Bills quarterback Josh Allen missing a wide open Khalil Shakir for the 2-point conversion to win the game against the Eagles. Oh my goodness, I watched this. Apparently, weather was a factor in this game. I personally didn't watch this because I was doing other stuff. But I did watch the last 30 seconds of the game where I saw them score the touchdown. I saw them review the touchdown, and then I saw them take the touchdown off. And then I saw Josh Allen on 4th and goal punch it into the end zone. And then my dad and I were actually debating. We're like, do you just kick the field goal and go to overtime, or do you go for the 2-point to just win the game? And I was like, well, I would go for the 2-point conversion because I would just gamble it. But now that I'm thinking about it, the Bills were at home, so why would they not want to play another extra thing at home? So I'm now thinking back to regretting the 2-point, but I do also recall that their kicker was out and they had like some backup kicker, so that also probably played into the decision.
Both plays were a gamble in the first place, because like, I mean, personally I would say maybe do the field goal, but then again, like, do the kick.
And you're only tying the game. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you go into overtime and you're still kind of gambling, could you? But also, if you have a backup kicker, that's a gamble in itself.
Yeah, how much are you trusting him to make it?
Yeah, so it was just not a good game.
No, it was not a good day, but apparently the Eagles didn't play great either.
No, they didn't. Anyways, to injuries. There's a ton. If I could show you my screen right now,
it's pretty much the whole screen.
It's the whole screen. So first things first, as we did mention earlier from last week, the Packers quarterback, Jordan Love, with a concussion injury, which had them play Malik Willis. And then we have the Ravens quarterback, Lamar Jackson, out again with his back injury. We have the Steelers linebacker, right? TJ Watt has a lung injury, so that's not great. Revealed earlier that his lung actually collapsed. Oh, that's not great.
Yeah. No, it's not.
That's not great. So he's going to be out for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we have the Steelers also with a wide receiver out, who is Calvin Austin III, with a hamstring injury, plus without wide receiver DK Metcalf because he's serving suspension for interaction with Lions. And yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. The temptation is there to fight back, but don't.
Yeah. Just walk away. Just walk away.
And then we have the Bears wide receiver, Rome
Odunze.
Okay. Out with a foot injury. Ooh. Then we have the Saints running back, Alvin Kamara, out with a knee ankle injury. And then we have the Vikings tight end, TJ Hawkinson, thank you. There's not an R in there. What am I saying? Hawkinson out. I'm not wearing my glasses. That's why I'm kind of reading it.
Not again.
I can't find them. I have an eye appointment on New Year's Eve. It's fine. Out with a shoulder injury, and then we have the Buccaneers offensive line. Thank you. Tristan Wirfs out with a toe injury. Then we have the Dolphins without safety Minka Fitzpatrick due to a calf injury. We have the Patriots without a wide receiver, Keyshawn Bout, due to a concussion, and Matt Collins abdominal.
Yeah.
That's not great.
Yeah, they actually moved. I don't know if they moved both, but they definitely moved Hollins to IR, so he's done for a little bit because they have to sit out minimum 4 games. So I'm a little bit confused, but I did see him at the game today. So
I mean, he should, on the side. Then we have Raiders shut down defensive end Max Crosby for the rest of the season with a lingering knee injury.
Wait, I have one thing for this. So he's pissed with the Raiders for shutting him down because he's been playing with the injury. So he's like, why are you just now shutting me down? Why didn't you shut me down weeks ago? And then the funniest thing is that he posted on his Instagram story today, pictures and maybe even a video of him like jumping on the trampoline or something in his house and playing basketball in his house.
I'm guys, I'm fine. Like, let me finish out the season, then I'll deal with whatever's left. And then we have the Eagles
offensive tackle.
Okay, that's what I thought, but my mind was saying timber, and I'm like, that's not right. I'm so tired. Okay, guys, offensive timber. Great. Okay, ignore that. Eagles offensive tackle Lane Johnson out with a foot injury. Then we have the Bills missing key defensive player like Jordan Phillips due to ankle injury and Jordan Poyer due to a hamstring injury. And then we finally come to the end of our list with Rams expected to rest wide receiver Devontae Adams with a re-aggravated hamstring injury. What happened in these last 2 weeks for all these injuries? I feel like we're in preseason again. But anyways, moving on from that, I hope everyone recovers. But the teams eliminated from the playoffs, there's a lot. We have the Colts, Dolphins, Lions, Cowboys. They're joining the Giants, Cardinals, Titans, Jets, Raiders, Saints, Falcons, Browns, Washington's Cardinals, Bengals, Chiefs, and Vikings. Chiefs. The teams that have clinched a playoff spot.
So the number 1 seed right now is the Broncos. 2 is Patriots, 3 is Jags. We don't have the 4th seed because that's going to either the Steelers or the Ravens. Then the 5th seed is Texans, 6th Chargers, 7th Bills, but this is all contingent on it's all right now. It's all current. Next week could change.
I'm just gonna let you do this.
Yeah, next week could change based on results.
Yes. Cool. I'm gonna let you continue.
Okay.
You got this.
But then on the NFC side, we kind of still have the same thing. We don't have the number 4 seed that belongs to the NFC South, where that's either going to be the Panthers or the Bucks. Division game this week, so we'll see how that goes. The number 1 seed at the moment is the Seahawks. The Bears are in 2. Eagles are in 3. 49ers are in 5th. Rams 6th. Packers in 7th. I believe the Packers are locked in at the 7th seed, and I'm pretty sure that's confirmed because the Lions are eliminated. But you will notice the Seahawks, 49ers, and Rams are all within the same division. And we'll have to see what becomes of that because I think there's still a way for the 49ers to be a 1 seed. But I'm not 100% sure. I think that depends on the results of tonight's game as well, if they win or not. So we'll have to see how that goes. But I know the Broncos are not locked in at number 1. The Patriots could still potentially get the number 1, and even the Jaguars have potential to get the number 1. So we'll have to see how that goes. And I was honestly thinking to myself today, I don't feel like there's one team that can't be beat.
Literally, my thoughts. Because whenever I'm like doing the scores, I'm like, yo, didn't you lose last week and now you're here with like 40 some points? What happened? So you're just like the Bears, the Browns, like all your teams that generally don't really do great throughout the whole season. No hate, just happens. They'll just randomly come with like 3 weeks back to back where they're just getting like points and points and demolishing bigger teams that tend to do better.
Right.
Like I could not tell you. That's why it's so hard for me to pick games for like upcoming, like, because I'm like, you could pick like, I don't know, the Panthers and the Steelers. They're like the one people I'm like thinking about right now. Put them together, either of them could win because like
Right.
they've both done pretty good. So I'm just like, I don't know. You could do the same with the Jaguars and the Jets, and it would still be like, I don't know.
I'd feel pretty safe picking the Jets to lose. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. But just saying, like, you never know. Like, the way this season has gone, the Jets
Exactly,
suck.
but I personally don't feel like there's a big powerhouse that I wouldn't want to play. Maybe the Patriots, but they're not. The wide receivers aren't
But you know,
always
like the Texans
great.
defense the Patriots. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
the Texans started off bad. Oh, there goes my light.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd still pick myself to beat them in a game. I'm not gonna lie. So
Yeah. That's how this season has gone. I've been saying it like halfway through the season. I don't know what I'm watching at this point because I could literally be like, the Bills are gonna demolish them and then them have a week like this week.
yeah.
I don't know.
And then it's like, even with weather being a factor, it's like, but why? Like, you would think they have James Cook, but the Eagles had Jalen Carter, who apparently had like a great game. So yeah, it's interesting.
I'm giving up. Racing, just check out our recap, like we said earlier. Just go check it out. Go check out our old videos if you'd like to watch one. There's probably one that's super funny that you didn't watch. There's one where I'm wearing like 3 sunglasses.
She's not lying.
I'm not. If you just want to see that one scene, go watch our behind the scenes clips or our favorite moments. Is in one of those.
I think it's in both, actually.
Both, probably. They're part of our 12 Days of Christmas. And if you missed any of our 12 Days of Christmas, go check them out. It's a shameless plug. Anyways, to radar points. So, last week, 2 weeks ago, I had the Patriots versus Ravens game and the Bucks versus the Panthers game. You guys know how that went.
Both so good picks.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say it again. just Ravens. Guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you right now, my games for this week: Panthers versus the Bucks and Steelers versus the Ravens. Times to be announced. There you go.
Yes.
Got it.
All games next week, we're waiting for times to be announced because, we have big games like the Panthers and Bucks and Steelers versus Ravens, who will probably get prime time, because it's a division game to see who goes to the playoffs. But there's also a Saturday night doubleheader, so there's also games on Saturday to be played. But my game from 2 weeks ago, I had Tottenham versus Liverpool, which we know how that went, and Juventus versus Roma, which Juventus. I also think that Weston McKennie might have had a goal or an assist in there somewhere. I don't know. I remember seeing a video of it, but I don't remember when it happened. But this week, I have Arsenal versus Aston Villa. That's Tuesday at 3:15 Eastern Time. In the afternoon, let me be clear about that, not in the morning, that'd be crazy. But this comes after Villa beat 2 of the top 6 teams in back-to-back games, so why not? See if they can make it a third here. And then we also have Barcelona versus Espanyol on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. for NFL. I'm also going to echo the games that Julie picked out, but I feel like there's one more that I wanted to do. Let me just check that out. Oh, the 49ers are winning at halftime, 28-21. Okay, this isn't working. Seahawks versus 49ers. That's the other one.
Say, do you want to do like the 49ers? Because
Yep. That was the other one because that's a potential 1 seed matchup right there. To get the 1 seed, let me be clear on that. And then Chargers and Broncos also play. It could also be a good one. But yeah, times to be announced on those. I think that they said that they weren't going to announce the times until like tomorrow night, but I'm not so sure on that. So
if they do and they announce it before I edit, I'll add the times in.
Lit.
If they don't, if they Google. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a bit longer than our usual ones, and we still cut out stupid statistics for good reason. You will get stupid statistics next week.
Hopefully.
I don't know if hopefully. I don't think we might put out a video, we might not, but it's a holiday week. We kind of want to celebrate it with our family. So if you don't see a video, you know why. I hope you guys have a great New Year's. But please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on our post notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos in case we do post one. But if you want to check out our other social media pages, we have TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, a lot of things. Just go check them out in the links in the description below. And comment any of the games you watched, any of the things you saw, any of the injuries that shocked you. And just how your Christmases went. And if you got any cool sports-related Christmas gifts. I got this from my sister. I got some stuff. So, if you don't want to miss any of our upcoming videos, again, like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications.